right. Fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing red trunks with gold and green trim. Joining us all the way from Accra, Ghana. He weighed in at the lightweight limit of 135 pounds. He is undefeated in his boxing career with 18 wins, no losses, and 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the African lightweight champion and currently ranked the IBF number 7 contender, introducing the undefeated Ben Wonder Tackie. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 12-round championship bout, wearing silver trunks with orange trim, fighting out of and representing his homeland of Mexico. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 135 pounds even. His record stands at 38 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw, with 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former WBC featherweight champion of the world and the current number 2 WBC ranked super featherweight, introducing Gregorio Goyo Vargas. Once again, a referee in charge, Jay Nady, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled.
Fighter center. Do you have any questions? It's 12 rounds. Defend yourself at all times, obey my commands. Good luck, let's go to work. Do we have an interpreter in both corners?
Yeah, he's already here again.
Okay, go to work.
He'll cue you there, right?
Got him.
Well, this has the elements of a good competitive fight. The difference, as we mentioned, could be Vargas's power. He looks bigger and broader than Tackie. We'll see if he's stronger.
And championship experience. You can't discount that championship experience, boy. That's big.
And both warrior-like, Tackie, like Vargas, with no quit. Both more offensive-minded than defensive-minded, and both very prepared as we get set for round 1, scheduled for 12 for the WBC Continental America's 135-pound title.
Remember, that power's only good if he can land it. If he can't hit Tackie, it's going to be worth it.
I'd like to know what that scar on his cheek is, on both cheeks actually, but one is very deep. I wonder if that's a mark of an accident, a tribal mark, or what it is, because it's certainly deep enough.
Vargas told us the big difference in this fight will be experience, although we said power will also provide an edge for Vargas. He has KO'd his last 4 opponents. He predicted a knockout tonight. His representative told us he throws 40 to 50 punches max per round, each with intent, including, and you heard this too, Bobby, some unusual punches. What's an unusual punch?
I wasn't sure what an unusual punch was, and he didn't want to clarify it or expand on that, so we're going to find out, I guess, tonight.
Bobby, if he throws something you haven't seen before, or I haven't seen, I will make a note of that. I don't think there is.
I'll make a note of that and retire.
That's right.
We've seen everything.
I mean, what haven't we seen? Unusual. Yeah.
Maybe he goes behind the back.
Right now, Tackie's being very conservative, not too speedy, covering up, and I think some of the power has made a difference in the way Tackie's approaching this fight. He's felt some of it on his gloves. Maybe he's worried about it.
Some of it on his body. It's because he goes up to the body real good, and now 2 good uppercuts. I mean, hooks, I'm sorry.
Tackie says the keys to victory will be stamina and who can take the best punch. He has confidence he can stop Goyo Vargas. Vargas in the silver and red. And Tackie in the red with the gold and the green trim.
That was a beautiful counter right uppercut by Vargas, and maybe what he's talking about with the unusual punches is triple left uppercuts off the lead. That I haven't seen too much of, Freddie.
But this guy's punching and bunching. He can really punch in combination, and strange combinations. He's doing things very strange. Yeah, there's 5 jabs, 6, and several hooks after.
Vargas continues to come forward and assert himself.
And the overall feeling when you look at these 2 guys is a man is fighting a boy. Doesn't Goyo look like, some guy walks out of a cantina and says, I'm going to take on everybody. And the other guy looks like a kid, says, want to shine your shoes? He looks like a kid.
Vargas has been the effective aggressor here in the opening minutes. Here's a nice half hook, half uppercut by Vargas. The winner of this fight could get a world title shot, so it is a fight of significance. Currently the top lightweight champion, without question, Sugar Shane Mosley, who's 31-0 with 29 KOs, the undefeated IBF champ. Big miss there by Ben Tackie, but Vargas didn't have a reply at the moment. He's got one there with a good left hook.
You know, normally the fighter that throws the lighter punches throws more up to him. Right now, Vargas has outthrown him in power and in numbers.
Yeah, many more numbers. He really has won this round big. He's done all the fighting.
Está cubriendo mucho, ¿ok? El agua. Dale. Ten cuidado, tienes un pequeño raspetoncito para ahí.
He was saying, take it easy, you're doing really good, just keep the jab going.
Tienes un pequeño rosetoncito aquí, muy chiquito, ¿ok?
Speaking of that left hand, here we see Vargas really doubling, tripling it up, working nice. There's like a half an uppercut, a jab. He throws kind of a funny jab. It's like a half jab, half uppercut. Maybe that's one of the weird punches, but he's been throwing a lot of them, and there it is again. Another double, and Tackie's not getting out of the way of it completely and not completely blocking it.
Okay, good. Very good. Keep your hands up. Tuck. Keep it close to tuck.
Joe Goosen of the famous Goosen Training and Managing family in the corner of Ben Tackie. Vargas listening to his father, Gregorio. Vargas's big punch is the left hook to the body, so typical of many Mexican fighters.
Well, this corner is very happy with him so far. Everything he's doing, everything you're doing, keep on doing it perfect. You will have no trouble with this guy. Well, why not? He did all the punching, and he got no punches in return.
Vargas, an aggressive slugger, tremendous heart as he showed against Paul Hodgkinson and winning the WBC featherweight crown, and versus Kevin Kelly, despite losing the belt.
Tackie's already come out using more jabs. Now he's starting to jab to the body. He's already coming out using a much more effective left hand.
At least he's doing something. He was not doing anything. He was mesmerized by it.
Oh, good. Strong left hook there, followed up by a straight left by Vargas to the head.
Combinations that Vargas throws are really interesting.
Those punches are getting through by Vargas, those straight lefts and left hooks. They're making contact with the chin of Tackie. Tackie does have a good chin. He can take a punch.
That's the good news and the bad news. He's going to be here long for a
Now Vargas going to the body.
One of the other interesting things Vargas does is he throws a double left hook. Instead of body to head, he goes head to body. And sometimes that'll confuse a fighter who'll keep his hand up, and the next one will dig right into his kidneys or his liver.
He's showing championship form as Vargas. He's a complete fighter that knows how to punch with both hands. Ring generalship, he knows how to use the ring. So far, he's the champion here. He's shown it. He's shown championship quality and experience.
Break! Come back. Tackie in 18 fights has never been down. No cuts. Vargas down once back in 1989. That jab beginning to find a home by Tackie there.
I wonder if Tackie's ever fought anybody of this caliber.
There's not a particularly quick pace for this weight, but it's starting to heat up a little more.
Yes, Tackie tries to fight back. This could heat up into a wonderful fight if Tackie starts to get brave here. But the thumping body shots are going to take something out of this little thin body.
Vargas having a feel that he's doubling up on those left hooks to the ribs and out of the head with a combination. He's a good, strong combination puncher, as you can see. And pretty good footwork, too, to get out of the way of those return punches by Tackie.
And you can see the significant difference in power and the duration that punch stays in with Tackie when Vargas hits him. Tackie needs to throw more punches to offset the power factor.
And more than one at a time, or slow combinations like that one. That's such a slow combination you could count between those punches. You know, combinations got to come in zip, zip, zip for it to hurt.
Vargas has those Archie Moore type trunks way down there.
Looks like a can of beer, a can of cold drink or something.
Final seconds, round 2.
Another one in the can for the ex-champion, Vargas.
All right, you got to him a little bit. You got to him a little bit. You got a little bit more. Take some deep breaths. Give me some water and a bucket, Greg, right there. All right. Where's the spit bucket? I don't know. Where's the spit bucket? You tell me. Right here. Right here, Tackie. Very good. Tackie, keep your jab going. When you get inside, move the body. It hurt him. His right hand hurt him. Your right hand here hurt him. Very good. Keep your guard up. Keep your head moving after you punch. Tell him.
Let's take a look at body work. Goosen's asking his man to go to the body, but look what's happening to him in the meantime. One to the side, and you see his whole. Look, did you see how his whole body rippled? All of that's a punch. And then how he kind of caved in a little bit. That's a body.
When they do that little cave move, you know it hurt.
Oh, yes.
I've been hit with those. I don't like them.
No. Not a good thing to do. Get hit with a body shot.
Nice super slow-mo work there. Really showing how painful that shot could be. Well, here we go into round 3, round 2. Vargas able to punch between and around Tackie's jabs and connected often enough to easily win that round.
Something that is interesting, Tackie said that this fight was going to be a matter of endurance in later rounds, and he's constantly coming forward, putting pressure on Vargas to punch or move. And even though Vargas has been more effective so far going backward, that could be a factor late in the fight.
Tackie more on the attack, more aggressive, but still not hitting anything but gloves. Not hitting hard, and then look what he's getting in return.
And that is more than a probing jab by the Mexican Goyo Vargas. That has to sting.
He's got heavy hands. You can see at the transition time when he punches, his hands go and they stay in that body a little while.
And Vargas is making Tackie hurt when he misses.
I tell you what, if he can take this kind of punishment through 5 or 6 rounds and still be fighting Ben Tackie, then I'm going to have to take my hat off to him, because he's getting hit some hard shots by a guy who can punch.
Boy, if Vargas gets a shot at the title, the biggest names at 135 as mentioned: Sugar Shane Mosley, Jean-Baptiste Mendy, WBA, Cesar Bazan of Mexico, the WBC champ. Oh, look at this combination to the head, penetrating, and that jolts Tackie.
See the power being the difference, the transition time of those punches. When he hits you, you feel the shockwave through your system for 3 or 4 seconds as opposed to a second and a half tap.
But Tackie able to come back. Tackie showing a lot of courage.
Beautiful right uppercut by Tackie. He got Goyo's attention.
Boy, this Tackie does have a marvelous chin and a lot of guts. Oh, back comes Mr. Vargas with a combination to the chin.
Tackie may very well want this to be a shootout because he believes he's in better condition, but he is taking a lot of punishment in between, something I wouldn't really advise.
He's taking a lot of punishment this round, and he's way behind. I mean, every round he's lost this one.
Despite the punishment, Tackie continues to be aggressive, coming forward. He is game.
He's certainly no dog in him. He's coming up. He reminds you of Azuma. Azuma Nelson takes all that punishment, then he keeps coming and he wears you out.
Wild swing and a miss there on the left hook. And again, Vargas makes Tackie pay.
See, although Tackie's the quicker of the two here, he has not got the speed compared to Mosley.
Oh, beautiful.
Mosley is lightning.
Countering right hook there by Tackie that got the attention of Vargas. And again, he's got Vargas backing up.
But Vargas lands a hard right and then ducks under him.
You heard him twice in that round. Very good. Very good. Give me some more real quick. Deep breath. Open up his trunks. There we go. Hey, Tackie, you're going to win this fight. Just keep, Tackie, listen to me. Listen to me. Can he hurt you?
No.
He can't hurt you. Can he hurt you? Ask him if he can hurt you. No. No.
Yeah, I said
no, he can't hurt you.
He said he's waiting for him.
Right. Keep your hands up. Keep tracking him down. Keep using your jab. Yeah. Get your right hand off quick, though. He's starting to swell up here. He's got to hit more right hand. Okay? Now, here's the next thing. Here's the next thing.
Let's take a look at how quick Vargas punches in combination and repetitively, so that it's almost no time to do anything but cover up or get hit. He goes to the body. He begins all attacks with the body. 1, 2, 1, 2. What? I mean, if this kept on going, you'd see 5 of those. And of course, Tackie comes back later, Bobby.
Later, Tackie's got to get his into it. There's a nice counter right hand over the top of Vargas' slow jab, a left hook and a right uppercut, but he didn't do enough of it.
As we enter into round number 4.
And of course, our surprise was that they asked him, is he hurting you? And he said, no, it's nothing.
But Joe Goosen kept talking to him in English, and I don't think he speaks English.
Well, when the guy talked to him in African, it came out.
Vargas ahead on the online scoring, 3 rounds to 0.
Very good, exactly what I got.
Vargas administered more punishment in round 3, connected with 2 solid sets of combinations midway through the round, but Tackie did score on a couple of occasions.
He closed the distance of by how much he lost the round significantly, but still just did not do enough. He's not the bigger puncher, he's got to be the worker.
You get the feeling that the only way he is going to come on is if Vargas gets tired and slows down this attack. If that's the case, then he will be in trouble, because it looks like this kid's here to fight the entire distance.
Normally when a heavy puncher this way would only throw 40 to 50 shots, he should be throwing 60 to 70 shots to offset the power. Equal amount scored, power will get the edge.
The pace of Vargas slowing down somewhat. Perhaps some of that punishment dished out by Tackie in the last round has gotten to the Mexican, and again he backs up Vargas, who's fighting in retreat.
You know, we talked about power being a big factor, but when people are tired, speed also a very big factor, because whoever gets there first gets there best.
And Tackie beginning to come on a bit here, even though he continues, for the most part, to be dominated by Vargas. Tackie did say that stamina would be a big factor here tonight, so the longer this goes, well, we'll see.
Well, no, it's a fairly even round with 2 minutes gone, and I think that this is a round that Tackie could pull out with some combinations and a little pressure.
And if he went to the body, not once has he gone to the body in this whole round. Not once. And when you got a guy standing in front of you who might get tired if you found him in the body, it's neglectful not to go to the body.
Tackie's best weapon is the right hand. He doesn't give you much in the way of angles, as you can see. Almost always straight in. Going for the body there, but missing.
Reaching too far. When you reach that far, even if you get there, you don't hit it. I mean, it's no effect of the punch.
Vargas defensively average, shows good movement, mobile. Always seems to be a moving target, like right there. Able to use the head movement. That time he got nailed. Almost a low blow there by Vargas, and then he digs in with the left hooks to the ribs.
Nice counter left hook by Tackie, and now he's got the pressure on a little bit, working, trying to steal this round and win the end of the round.
Another round, Tackie. Good. Forget about it.
Uy, excelente. Está bien. Ok, no es ok, estás bien. Estás bien, no vas a estar lento, ¿ok?
Sí.
Pega un poquito, trata de estar más rapidito, ¿sí? Más rapidito.
He said, you're doing all right, but you're slowing down. Try to speed up a little bit. You're doing good while you're fast.
Okay.
And he's exactly right. That's a good button.
Trabaja el doble por fuera y adentro, los bajos.
Métele dos dobles.
You have to use your jab short and long. You got to use it when you're coming in. That right hand hurts him every time he hits him with it. Okay, Tackie, feel good? Sure. You feel good? Yeah. Here we go, baby. Number 5. Hey, number 5. Here we go. Win this round.
Ramon Acque helping out Joe Goosen there with the translation.
Tackie should feel like maybe the tide is beginning to turn for him. That was not a bad round for him.
I think he actually stole that round. I think he really won the round. He started out stronger, did the majority of the work in the beginning and the end. The middle was fairly even. I gave him that round by the slightest of margins. And Vargas' corner recognized the slowing down and said, you're slowing down, pick it back up.
Yeah. Exactly what I've got here.
Now Tackie just stalking, following Vargas around. A lot of movement here from the Mexican Vargas. Tackie comes forward. These are not the hardest punches in the world, but that right uppercut got into the chin of Goyo Vargas, but it didn't seem to be that effective against Vargas, all in all.
Nice strong counters by Vargas, but you know what? When he starts missing those big shots, that's when punchers really get tired.
Now we were talking about the lack of a body attack. Well, there it is. That's just what he should have been doing, and he's doing it now. He is Tackie.
Vargas's punches a lot harder than Tackie's. And that could have a lot of wear and tear as this fight progresses on Tackie's body.
Bobby, I was surprised to see Vargas go to the ropes and let this guy tee off on him and get brave when he doesn't have to if he just moves around.
Well, you know, it could be a little tired.
That's a sign of being tired?
Could be a little tired. Could have tried to set a trap for one or two of those big bombs, but I just didn't think he had his rhythm about him. He was trying to regroup.
This is beautiful work by Goyo Vargas. Look how he's jabbing to the head and to the stomach. And effectively. Because it's making Tackie double over. Taking the steam right out of him. A warning from referee Jay Nady about the heads.
I must have missed that one, fellas.
Me too. I didn't see that. I did not see that.
Boy, a clubbing right hand there by Goyo Vargas, right off the top of Tackie's head.
Goyo's got a little swelling in the one eye, in the right eye, and some starting in the left.
That last sequence when Tackie came forward, he didn't throw any punches, just came forward, and that's when Vargas is so effective, because he can just tee off when he feels like it.
Vargas is smart. He's going to the body predominantly, try to wear Tackie out. That gets to the legs, doesn't it, Bobby? And then you go for the head.
It gets to the legs, it gets to the body, it gets to the arms, it gets to everything, because it not only hurts, but it debilitates, and it lasts a lot longer than a chin shot.
Good straight right hand there by Ben Tackie. Countering right hand by Goyo Vargas.
And those are the kind that hurt. Just as the guy was coming in, just as he was coming in, he got hit.
Good exchange here as they go toe-to-toe.
Vargas still got the better of the exchange, Steve.
Vargas got the better of that one. Absolutely.
You're on your way to winning this. Okay, good. Relax. Now, here we go. Very good. Make sure the water doesn't. All right, here's what I need from you now. Take a deep breath. I need you to start stepping over here and dropping that right hand, okay? I need you to start stepping over. You understand? Let me have that. Tackie, don't back up. Don't back up. Don't back up. Cut the ring off on him. Cut the ring off on him. Don't follow him. Here's the other thing. You've got to punch with him.
Let's take a look and see if we can see where the clash is. Neither Bobby and I saw that. Well, there it was, but not much. Bobby, take a look at this infight.
Tackie doing some of the infighting here in an extreme close-up, trying to work on the inside, trying to work Goyo Vargas' body, throwing a nice uppercut on the inside. That is the way to attack. Go to the body and come up with uppercuts. Perfectly executed.
I love the mind games being used by Joe Goose, and you're on your way to winning this fight, he says to Ben Tackie.
Well, that's a cornerman's eternal optimism, and that's the way it should be. You gotta give your guy hope. You gotta give your guy energy.
Imagine in a tough fight that you tell your fighter, oh, by the way, you're on your way to losing. But I don't think that's good for his spirits.
Tackie's probably saying to himself, Joe, what fight are you watching? Round 5, round 6, I should say. It is scheduled for 12, the WBC Continental America's Lightweight Championship. Vargas continues to tee off on the body, now upstairs to the head with a combination. Here's another beautiful 1-2-3 combination by Vargas.
Crisp, sharp, and good.
You know, Vargas is being extremely effective, even more so than I would have thought with a jab. Not a fast jab, a power puncher. Most power punchers aren't that effective with the jabs, mostly with the counters and the power shots. Terrific jab tonight.
Vargas very smooth. He's 38-6-1 with 28 knockouts. Former WBC featherweight champion from Mexico City. He's 28, 3 years older than the African Tackie. Tackie unbeaten.
Walking in here with Julio Cesar Chavez and doing Spanish commentary. I asked him about this guy, and he says he's still here. He's still as good as he ever was. Don't count this guy out. He's at the top of his form. So if that's true, and it looks like it is from what we've seen thus far, over 5 rounds, and this is going to be a long night for Tackie.
Tackie talked about his right hand, or I should say his manager, trainer talked about his right hand being so much the better punch, and it really has been shown here tonight.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Vargas is 9-1 with 8 knockouts since his last title fight in 1994. Under a minute remaining in the 6th round. the punches of Vargas continue to have more pop on them than Tackie, like those uppercuts to the midsection.
You know, walking in with Chavez, I said, they're going to have a clock here. Did you ever look at the clock while you were fighting to see what was left? He said, never. I never looked for a clock.
How about you, Bobby? You ever look for a clock?
You look for a clock, you get clock. Never look for a clock.
Good line.
Good line.
Tell you what, this kid, Vargas, fights nicely going backwards. It's not easy to do, as both you guys know.
Tackie is doing good, just not good enough to win the round. I mean, he's doing all right. He's holding his own.
He's coming up just short very consistently.
One of his better shots just a second ago, that right hook. Well, we're here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, a few fights away from the main event. Why everybody is here, the return of Mike Tyson as he gets ready to square off with Francois Botha of South Africa, now living in Newport Beach, California. Late arriving crowd, they are hoping. In my conversations with Tyson leading up to this fight, he was very candid. He spoke, though, in contradictions, very self-deprecating, yet cocky, feeling his credibility is shot. Yet he calls himself the king. Bottom line, he remains a very complex person.
Sooner and he's got to put more. His jab is working well. He needs to hook up that jab. He needs to hook up that jab and right hand. Very good. Very good, Tackie. Here we go. Okay. Tackie, stay on. Don't back up.
You know, you raised a very valid point earlier, Purdy. What you see on Ben Tackie's cheeks are actually tribal markings of the Ga tribe, GA. They were cut onto him as a child in Ghana.
Yeah, I thought because they're balanced on either side.
Yeah, they looked a little too symmetrical to be an accident.
Yeah, it's just like the markings they put. I didn't think he got them at Heidelberg, so.
There's the online story. How about you guys unofficially?
Exactly. I got it 59-54, which is.
Then we are all in agreement.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say I agreed. No, I agree.
You don't count.
Gee, thanks. Round 7.
Oh, nice right hand by Tackie right on the jaw.
Joe Goosen said to him, use that right hand more, you're hurting him with it, and start to throw it.
Ben Tackie with another right hand to the jaw of Goyo Vargas, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Tackie comes on.
And Goyo goes to ropes, and he lets him stay there.
Vargas is looking to cover up there.
I noticed every round when Vargas gets off the stool, he turns around and bends over. Doesn't pray, bends over. I don't know if he has a bad back or what, but he bends over. I think that's very odd. I've had a bad back and some problems with it, and that's what I would do if I'm back by it.
It starts to stiffen up. You're trying to stretch those muscles.
Sure, he didn't drop any change. There's the jab by Goyo Vargas.
And the punch to the side, which he's belaboring the right side of Tackie. He's going to feel that tonight.
Boy, Tackie's ribs. Gotta be hurt.
Sore.
That was blocked by Vargas, the gloves. He's telegraphing Tackie.
This is a round where Vargas seems to have lost a little bit of steam, a little bit of juice gone out of the tank a little. I would have thought that Ben Tackie would take a little more advantage of it as he started to early in the round, but he's backed off again.
Tackie's been up and down, even though he's undefeated in 18 fights. He's looked tense and tight in certain fights, sometimes just throwing one punch at a time. Then he'll come back and really look strong. But I think he's just being outskilled here by Vargas.
Yeah, you have to consider the opposition. He's in against the next champion and a guy who could be champion with a little bit of luck. And so, hey, he's only had 18 fights. That's not a whole lot of fights.
I remember back to the 18th fight with me. I think it was Robbie Sims' time.
Half-brother of marvelous Marvin Hagler, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Tackie turned pro in 1994. He hasn't been fighting that long, as you point out. He had 3 fights in 98. Knocking out Edwin Santana in the 10th, Louis Leja in the 9th, and decision to fight named Picklet Lau.
Nice body work by Tackie just now. Nice right hand, left uppercuts that landed very cleanly. Beautiful overhand right.
And he's the aggressor. He's chasing. He's doing a good job this round.
Vargas continues to land while he's backing up.
son las combinaciones que tienes que buscar. Sí, pega fuerte, pero... No, tienes mucha escuela, mijo. ¿Ok? Sí.
He just said take them to school, but they're very, very sparse in their conversation.
Sí.
Mételo, Gancho, lo estás metiendo bien.
Date ánimo, ¿ok?
He's got to keep using it. You got to slow him down to the body. Inside, he's got to hit that liver. Tell him he's got to hit that liver inside. Please, Tackie, hit that liver inside, okay? You're catching up now. You're catching up to him now, right?
Let's take a look at a real good right hand by Tackie, the kind that he puts right on. Look at the way his head spun around. That'll get respect. That'll get attention. That'll get you
that'll win you points in the rounds.
And they might also knock you out. And that's a very good punch.
We mentioned that is his best weapon, the right hand. Well, conversation is never sparse with Joe Goosen, that's for sure. Round 8 could be a costly bet for Ben Tackie. If this bout does not come down to stamina and conditioning being in his favor, he's about 4 or 5 rounds behind on our scorecards. Scheduled for 12. Fringe title, WBC Continental America's Lightweight Championship, but these usually lead to title shots. And it's been about 5 years since Vargas has had one of those.
Oh, another good right hand right across the cheek of Vargas. By Tackie.
The crowd slowly filling up here at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas as they get ready for the main event, Tyson and Botha.
One thing about the bigger punchers, they tend to fade in the later rounds, have less power, certainly throw a lot less punches.
Beautiful combination to the chin by Vargas. A countering attempt there by Tackie goes nowhere. Back comes Vargas again with a left hook.
Vargas is using a counter. It's kind of a counter hook uppercut. It's beautiful.
Beautiful right hook by Vargas that lands to the left jaw of Tackie. Oh, a gorgeous left hook by Goyo Vargas, and he is scoring at will. Halfway through the 8th.
Just as I was about to say, don't you sense that this is slowing down? It picked up like a rocket. I'm glad I didn't get a chance to say that.
Something you notice Vargas doing, he throws 3 or 4 punches, steps back, and throws 3 or 4 more like this. He's doing it again and again.
Vargas with a second win, just teeing off on Tackie. And Tackie showing quite a chin and heart.
It's like hitting the heavy bag, but the guy doesn't hit back. He's just punching away.
Well, I'll tell you, I think a few of them really got his attention, wobbled him a little bit, and he is getting hit in succession, makes it hard to get off in between.
A vicious combination, one after another, by the fists of Vargas. Tackie fighting back courageously, but getting nowhere fast.
Boy, I don't know how this kid could take that kind of shot.
So he's like a punching bag.
Boy, that was a lot of punishment there. Here's some more. And it's right on the button.
Missiles being thrown here by Goyo Vargas, and they are mostly scoring.
Vargas's timing, his moves, and his mixing up his sequences has just been masterful right here.
I'll tell you what, Vargas, not only very powerful, but showing great movement in tremendous condition this late in the fight, still able to stand away after he throws those punches.
And his variety of punches. Just when you think he's teeing off on the head, here comes a shot to the liver that should paralyze you. I mean, you know, this guy's fighting over and under, over and under.
Those heads really coming close. Oh. Vicious body blows, right uppercuts, left uppercuts by the Mexican.
Tell him he cannot let that happen again. He cannot stand there in the middle of the ring and let him circle around him. Tell him right now. Tell him what I just told you. You can't let him do that. You have to get him close to him. Get him close to him. Make him... Little grease. Little grease. Tackie, stay with him. What is this, 8? This is 9. This is 9.
Now let's take a look at Vargas and his little slugfest, and keep in mind the kind of combinations. There's a jab. No sooner does he do that, and he comes back with a hook. There's the hook, and then he goes right down to the body. Now watch the head, Bobby.
Well, the heads are clashing because what they're doing is both coming into each other, and they're going to bang heads on a regular basis when they keep doing it. They lean over into another head first.
Well, Tackie was a sitting target in that 8th round. A very impressive one for Vargas, the former WBC featherweight champion. He is widening the lead.
Tackie's people said stamina and durability will clearly be the difference, and Vargas said his power and his experience will clearly be the difference. And so far, Vargas has proven it right.
And this time between rounds, Joe Goosen wasn't using any mind games or blowing any wind in the direction of Tackie. He really got in his face with help from translator Ramona Quay.
Said you cannot do that again, not ever.
Well, as we have it on our scorecards, it's almost a mathematical impossibility, barring knockdowns and so forth, for him to come back. If they're just trading points, he mathematically can't win this fight.
Tackie would have to win every round from here and close out to pull a draw.
Yep. And
on my score.
If he had a knockdown then at 10-8 rounds, something like that, he could win, but otherwise, he's mathematically out of the winning picture.
I think the experience as well as the power were the big factors here. I can understand the durability being good, endurance, conditioning being a player, but Vargas isn't going anywhere.
And almost everything that Vargas throws connects. There's a pretty countering right by Tackie, but doing no damage.
And Vargas comes back with 2 or 3 of his own. Tackie does not follow up. He'll throw 1 or 2 combinations, but not followed up with 3, 4, or 5.
The left hook there by Tackie, but again, back comes Vargas. Vargas combination, 1, 2, 3, 4 combinations. To the head and then to the body.
He threw a 5-punch combination to the head, then followed it with 3 to the body, and in between Tackie did nothing. Can't allow that.
He was too busy eating punches, Bobby. I think this guy's just bewildered. He's being overwhelmed, overcome. I mean, the punches are too many, too accurate. He just does. He's outclassed. He's being outclassed is the word I'm trying to search for.
Hey, Nady, warning Vargas not to use the elbows.
Yeah, that wasn't. It was more of like a shoulder push off. I don't think it was anything nasty or intentional. Just kind of like just a shove off.
The way Vargas is looking here, he doesn't need anything below the belt, anything illegal. Continues to land with combinations to the head.
And they're in 4- and 5-pound combinations. You've hardly ever seen anybody throwing that good and landing and hurting.
What's going through your mind as a fighter right now, Bobby? You're Goyo Vargas. I mean, just about everything's scoring. You're just hitting home runs every second.
Well, if he feels he has a big lead, and sometimes fighters can't tell, if he feels he has a big lead, he'll be smart. He'll do what he's doing, not make a mistake, and not give up anything. That will be a problem.
I think you just continue to fight to win. That's about the way it is. And once you start getting smart, you get hurt. You don't get too smart. That's another round in Vargas' camp.
He's following him in a circle instead of cutting the ring off. You got to move his feet left and right. He's got to pin the guy on the ropes. He's got to make him fight more. He's following him around looking for 1 or 2 shots. That ain't going to cut it. Tell him that right now.
No te descuides, ¿ok? Más agüita, denle agüita.
They're talking about water and just non-technical things. They're really very satisfied with what he's doing. There's nothing they can tell. He's doing a perfect fight.
Pon las manos ahí. Ahí. Ok, vale. Ok, vámonos.
Let's see if he bends over again.
Vivo, ya métale caña, mijo.
Yeah, there he goes again. He's kind of stretching himself.
Could be a back situation.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
you wouldn't know by the way he's punching.
That's for sure. Round 10. We hit double figures. Goyo Vargas won the WBC featherweight title, 126 back in '93 with a 7th round TKO over England's Paul Hodgkinson in Dublin. Great fight. As you look at the online scoring, Goyo Vargas in dominating fashion.
We're all in agreement. 7-2.
It's unanimous.
Then he lost in his first defense to Kevin Kelly. Another good fight. Kelly outboxed Vargas, was ahead on points. When Vargas floored Kelly in the ninth, but Kelly won a unanimous decision.
You know, there were a few rounds in there that were a little bit close, so it seems that our online at-home crowd is getting a little more educated.
Yeah. Pretty soon they can come take our job. I mean, we can go sit home.
Oh, God forbid.
Vargas moved up to junior lightweight, but lost a decision to John Molina for the IBF title in '94. We'll see Molina later against Roberto Garcia. Then he had a 20-month layoff, helped his brother Adnan, a former Mexican bantamweight champ. But as mentioned earlier, 9-1 with 8 knockouts since that last title fight. Talking about Goyo Vargas in the red with the silver.
Tackie eventually has to show some form of desperation. He's got to let it all hang out. You heard Joe Goose in the corner. He said, listen, you got to pin him on ropes. You got to go for it.
Yeah, desperation's the word. If he doesn't fight with some kick into some super high gear that he hasn't shown, he's not going to win this fight. I mean, anybody can get lucky in those last championship rounds, but he doesn't look like he's doing anything different.
Well, we'll give Tackie points for bravery, willingness, toughness, but just not there on the skill level with Goyo Vargas.
I think experience is a big factor. I think Vargas is right. Experience is going to be a key.
And the power of Goyo Vargas, as we mentioned at the outset.
Nice right hand right there by Vargas. But see, he comes back with 2 more, and then 2 more again. And Tackie does nothing in between.
There's that combination again, right-left by Vargas to the chin. Another one.
And all of them on the butt. On the butt.
Scoring at will. Goyo Vargas. Every once in a while, Tackie will come back, but there you see that rat-a-tat approach by Vargas. And he is unrelenting.
Tell you, Vargas walked into a nice right hand too that got his attention, and he backed off. Overall, though, he had won the combination clearly.
Well, what is Tackie's face going to look like after this one? And when he wakes up in the morning, you won't even see those tribal markings. There'll be so much swelling.
He's certainly going to have sore ribs.
Ay, no, ya con esos zancos me amolé mi mano.
He says his hand is hurting him. He says his right hand, I think he said. Yeah, I think he said his right hand is hurting him now.
Estás bien, no, ya no tiene ningún rozón, nomás la pura nariz, ¿ok? Estás muy bien.
You have nothing on the nose. Don't worry about your eyes.
¿Ok? Lo voy a revivir bien. Pero demuestre ahorita que ya tiene con qué. Cuando tú le tiras ráfagas y todo eso, ella no haya que hacer.
That may be one of the reasons why his hand is so sore, because he's landing this right hand with impunity. He just zings it through there. This is really a beating. That's what you see. Okay, let's look at it.
Here's a special close-up, a nice right hand, left hook, and then a follow-up by Vargas. He's just teeing off at Willie, throwing the combinations, punches and bunches, and getting it done.
There's the stretching once again by Vargas just before the bell. Ben Tackie entering uncharted territory. He has never been past 10 in any of his 18 fights until now, all victories.
And I venture to say he's never had a 10 like the 10 that just went by. You'll never forget his little trip to America.
All the way from Accra, Ghana.
See, now he's throwing 2 or 3 combinations in a row, but he's still chasing. Joe Goosen told him 2 or 3 rounds ago, you have to cut him off, corner him. You cannot keep chasing. You're following him around the ring.
Vargas, even though round 11, continues to dance around, show good foot movement.
Well,
and takes to the body with the swift combinations.
He's gone to school tonight. He's had an education in how to fight or how not to fight a champion. He's gotten a tattoo beat on him. Imagine he gets home and says, what did you see that you liked in Las Vegas? He says, Bellagio was nice.
I think many times when Tackie is chasing Vargas, he chases him, then he sets, and as he sets, Vargas has already stepped off, and he has to chase him and reset again. He's not cutting off the ring. Even when he does, he always takes an extra split second to set. He's got to fire as he's moving sometimes.
How would you like to see a fight based on what you are seeing here by Goyo Vargas? Vargas versus Shane Mosley.
Oh, Shane's very fast. I don't think you'd see this. I think you'd see an even wild fight.
Mosley clearly in a league of his own. 31-0, 29 knockouts, the undefeated IBF title holder.
You know, he's a special kind of talent. I think that Vargas never even comes close to having this good a fight against Shane Mosley.
Oh, no, he'd have a survival fight against Mosley. He'd have to survive.
The other champions, Cesar Bazan, Jean-Baptiste Mendy, Artur Gregorian.
Are those all champions? How many champions have we got? We got more champions than challengers.
He actually cut the list down because there are more. We just don't recognize all of them.
It does get out of hand.
Oh, that's out of hand. In the end, the public decides who's the best in the group. I mean, this has got to be a joke.
Well, they decide who's the most popular, that's for sure.
Well, that's it. I mean, when Ali was fighting, he was the champion. That was it. Well, he had a belt. Right now, there's only one or two in that.
Don't you wish we could go back to those days when you don't have to remember so many champions and so many sanctioning bodies?
Well, there were only 8 champions. And when there was a fight, it was an occasion. Let's get back to this.
Final seconds, round 11. It continues to be all Goyo Vargas.
Two beautiful right hands now. Tackie's got to let it hang out.
No.
Oh, boy.
Well, you got to him a little bit at the end there. Tell him he got to him at the end.
Last one.
I need 3 minutes. I need it. No, he's not cutting. You mean in his mouth, Greg? Yeah. It's a little too late, I guess. Yeah. Here, let me have that. Hey, Tackie.
This is the last round.
Yes.
Tackie, one more.
You have to do it. You cannot wait on him. You have to knock him out now, okay? Can you do it? You got it.
Here's the pressure. Vargas doesn't seem to know when to quit. Even whether his hand's hurting him or not, he just keeps throwing it. And the pressure's overwhelming for this kid. I think he's just being overwhelmed. That's a good example of it. Now, Bobby, look at the second one.
Extreme close-up of the punches. Vargas right on the money. Power shots. Tackie just doesn't know how to get out of the way, how to react to him, and doesn't counter back enough to keep Vargas off.
Fine camera work. You know, as the years progress, the cameramen get better and better and better. It's almost, this is the best sport to watch on TV because you can really get in it. You're really inside the ring with them. Great camera work.
Well, Ben Tackie might need divine intervention to pull this one out. He began round 11 by pursuing Vargas around the ring. He'll have to do that again in this final round, but he'll have to back it up with some power if he wants to capture this WBC Continental America's lightweight title. But that does not seem very likely, folks.
Well, you know, he's coming behind a double, triple jab with a right hand. He's doing what he should have been doing earlier, needing to throw more punches because he's not the hardest.
No, you gotta be kidding. He knocked down Vargas.
Vargas was off balance and he hit him with a left hook.
Off balance. He's not in danger.
But a clean knockdown.
Flash knockdown. He got up right away. And he looks over to his corner and says, I don't believe that. That's the second time he's been knocked down in his career. He may have been stepped on. The feet came together, and he lost his balance and went down. He looked over, he nodded his head no, as if to say, no way, that was a knockdown.
Yeah, it was a knockdown because he got hit and went down because he was out of balance, but not a knockdown in that he got hurt.
It was correct. That's correct, Freddie.
Traditional sense. 35 seconds into the last round, it goes as an official knockdown against Vargas.
And Vargas, you can see, is a little tired here. He's done the majority of the work for the fight. I don't think that knockdown could possibly factor into the score. No, I would be nothing short of shocked.
That's all academic. Unless he stayed down. That's the only one.
Well, we say it's all academic, but we don't count either, fellas.
That's true. We're in Las Vegas.
Remember, we are in Las Vegas.
We're in the land of who knows what.
A oobly-doo. How many times have we said that and came back shocked?
But I think this one I'd bet the house.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way you could...
Well, I used to gamble. I learned not to bet the house.
Well, we're in Vegas. I might as well use the jargon. But I know what you mean, Bobby. Final minute. Final round. Again, a swift combination to the head by Vargas. Vargas, who's angry over that knockdown call, trying to finish strong. just doesn't let up. A relentless attack here by Vargas to the face of Tackie.
Vargas
Tackie with a countering right.
Vargas looks like he wants to knock him out. You know, Vargas looks like, hey, you knocked me down, let me finish this thing, you know?
He's frustrated that he can't put this kid down. He's never been down, Tackie. Final 20 seconds. Oh, a low blow by Ben Tackie. And with
that one was
seconds
way
to go.
south of the border.
Goodness. He'll get all the time he needs.
There's only 11 seconds.
And there's only 11 seconds remaining. Can you believe this? A low blow by Ben Tackie with 11 seconds to go in the fight after he controversially put Vargas on the canvas 35 seconds into the round. And Vargas says, oh, what the heck, let's just finish this thing out. He knows there's only a few seconds left.
I'm not even sure I was on his mind at the time.
That's it. Whatever. And all Goyo Vargas and Ben Tackie has to be delusional as he waves his fist to the crowd and jumps up on the ropes. Vargas from start to finish, from bell to bell. Ben Tackie being hoisted up, but he's got to be in another world.
Now they do that all the time. They think it'll influence the judges if a fighter looks happy, but theoretically, and not even theoretically, but practically, the judges put down the score before and after each, after each round before the next.
So it has no bearing.
Shouldn't have any bearing. There's only one round that can be judged, and the last round you have to give to Tackie.
Yep. But academic, as you pointed out, Vargas hearing it from the crowd, and deservedly so, put on a beautiful exhibition of combinations. Well, check out that knockdown in the last round.
I believe something went wrong, and he just was off balance.
Check the feet, Bobby. Let's see if he stepped on it.
No, he didn't step on him. He just had bad balance and got hit with a left hook. You can see it. Tackie just comes in close and stuffs him. From the overhead, you watch his feet are level, squared off, and you see his feet are squared off. He had them straight. He didn't have one behind the other, and he just went down. They bent and buckled. And one more look at it. This is like eye level, just a straight left. You'll see it just kind of sort of a half a hook, almost a straight jab.
Yeah, how
just
ironic.
Just off balance.
That Vargas, who was dominating the whole fight, the one to go off his feet.
A lot of action in that last round. Here's a wicked low blow. Tackie comes in and throws one bang right south of the border. And sometimes they don't hurt, but sometimes they do. He got his few minutes and got up to finish out what I think should be an easy decision victory.
As we await the announcement from Jimmy Lennon Jr. It was a good show of sportsmanship, Ben Tackie.
If I were the judge, 116-111 for Vargas. 9 rounds to 3 with a 2-point round for Tackie.
All right, let's see what the judges here in Las Vegas had to say as we go to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Carol Castellano, scores about 117 to 110. Our judges at ringside, Jerry Roth and Rex Ross Walker, they both scored about 116 to 111. All three in favor of the winner of the vacant WBC Continental America's Lightweight Championship, Gregorio Goyo Vargas.
Convincing unanimous decision for the Mexican Goyo Vargas. Our TiVo online scoring had it 9-3 in favor of Vargas. Good job by the folks tuning in. Right on top of it, Vargas perhaps putting himself in line for another world title shot with this win tonight, as he hands Ben Tackie of Ghana his first defeat and wins the WBC Continental America's lightweight title, ups his record to 39-6-1. Tackie goes to 18-1, tasting defeat for the first time in his career. Former WBC featherweight champ Goyo Vargas, one of the most popular fighters in Mexico, able to put another belt around his waist.
We're ready in the ring.
Good job by Goyo Vargas. Well, next up, undefeated, Roberto Garcia defends his IBF junior lightweight title against former two-time world champion John Molina. Into the dressing room of Garcia. Tough, disciplined champion. However, he did run into some difficulty his last fight against Cuban southpaw Ramon Ledon. Decked in the second from a tremendous straight left and rocked in the third. But Garcia very composed, able to bounce back with a furious assault to stop Ledon in the fifth. IBF junior lightweight champion Roberto Garcia defending his belt shortly against seasoned veteran John Molina. We're set for post-fight reaction from our first bout. Let's go to the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, in the ring.
Today, in fact, he spent the past couple of months with Mike Tyson training. The mood with Mike today is what, Shelley?
Very relaxed, very confident.
19 months is a long time for a 32-year-old man to be out of the game. Are there any major concerns that you have because of that rust, because of that layoff coming into tonight?
I might have felt that way 2-3 months ago, but seeing what he's done and the amount of time he's put in, and that, none at all.
We've heard some talk that maybe Botha might throw an elbow, low blow, something to goad Mike into snapping. Is that a concern?
I hope it doesn't go that long.
The inside with Tommy Brooks, a new trainer, somebody he hasn't been familiar with. Just exactly how long does that camaraderie and chemistry take in a fight?
It took about 2-3 days, because the first day they were working out, Tommy was showing him some things. The second day he put mitts on, and when Mike missed a punch, Tommy hit him. And Mike says, whoa, this guy's real. And he thought it would just be very simple. And then the third day, Mike didn't feel good, and he threw up. And Tommy said, look, we got a couple more rounds. We got to finish him. If you throw up in the fight, they're going to let you finish it. So he got the respect early, and then they have a great rapport. If you watch him lately, any training he does, he looks to make sure that he's there. And
all right, Shelley, we appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you later in the evening.
no problem. Thank you, Jim.
Let's send it back outside now to Steve Albert.
Thank you very much, Jim. Straight ahead, the IBF Junior Lightweight Championship. Unbeaten Roberto Garcia versus former two-time world champion.